Hi, everybody. Today I'm walking the Ward Pound Ridge Reservation in Westchester County, New York. This giant tree you see in front of me is called the Boutonville Oak. The Boutonville Oak is between 400 and 500 years old. Its trunk has a circumference of almost 15 feet, and its branches stretch 73 feet tip to tip. The Boutonville Oak is named for the old town of Boutonville that once stood here. The town began in colonial times and grew to include 28 houses, a sawmill, a grist mill, a schoolhouse, and a post office. Now very little is left of Boutonville. Just a few stone foundations, cellar holes, and stone walls. And the Boutonville Oak with its sad story. It seems that in the period following the Civil War, a poor tenant farmer, whose name has long since been forgotten, lived nearby with his 4 small children. On a cold winter night, the farmer left his home to visit the tavern in the next town. Apparently, this was an all too common occurrence. The house was run down and drafty, so he made a bed of quilts in front of the large open fireplace in the kitchen. He tucked the 4 little ones in, gave them a kiss, and started down the 2-mile road from Boutonville to Cross River for a night of drinking. Being a widower, the children were left alone and unattended in front of the large roaring fire. As the wind howled outside, the children slept. A spark must have jumped from the fireplace. Soon, the entire house was engulfed in flames. At some point in the evening, a neighbor ran into the tavern, telling the farmer his house was on fire. The drunken man stumbled home to find his house burned to the ground and his children dead. Kind neighbors buried the 4 children under this large tree on the hill, the Boutonville Oak. Over time, a ghost was added to the story of the Boutonville Oak. This is the Avery Cemetery. It is said that on some nights, a light can be seen swaying back and forth between the gravestones. It's the farmer carrying a lantern, searching for his children's graves. The Avery Cemetery dates back to the late 1700s and also sits on the park's grounds. The tenant farmer would have known this cemetery very well. I think it's highly unlikely that he would believe his children would be buried in an Avery family plot. So, back to the story of the Boutonville Oak. Perhaps this tragic story of a drunken farmer and his poor children is just another old-fashioned morality tale, one to warn against the evils of alcohol. At least that's what I thought, until I saw this article in a local paper dated February 9th, 1900. Burned to death in their home. 4 children left alone in house consumed by flames. The house of Warren E. Winans on the road between Cross River and Boutonville and about 7 miles from Katona was destroyed by fire on Thursday last week. And 4 of Wynn's children burned to death. The children were Jesse, 5 years old, Jenny, 4 years old, Warren, 2 years old, and Carrie, 9 months old.